Welcome to the fourth episode of the Man Bunkbed Podcast, where a couple of guys, some with glasses, some without, Cole, talk NFL football and how that impacts our fantasy football rosters and yours for the listeners that actually jump on and listen to this or view it if you're on YouTube. So please don't forget, at the Man Bunkbed Podcast, we post on YouTube, we post on Spotify, and we post at our partner website, the Fantasy Football Advice Forum. So if you look us up on any of the socials. We'll be the Man Bunkbed Podcast on all socials. And then check out the Fantasy Football Advice Forum, where you can find a whole bunch of other content creators, people who are doing this, mostly for free. That they just have a passion for talking fantasy football with people. If you want to get on there and talk crap about people's trades, if you want to get on there and use some of the free promo discounts you get just for being on the Fantasy Football Advice Forum, do that. So check them out, fantasyfootballadviceforum.com, and be a part of the community we're building. So
we're fantastic at talking trash about people's trades.
That's what we're here for.
It's one of my favorite things to do.
That's why they keep us around.
I knew there was a reason. I thought it was just for the ice cream.
Cole's the one talking smack with the ice cream, yeah. So, look, I'm Zach. I'm your host. To the left of me on the screen, maybe that's the right of me on the screen. We've got Nolan, aka Fat Squirtle, aka the non-social media believer, and then at the bottom for today's broadcast, we have Coach Cole Smith there at Coach Smith 409. We're workshopping his handle. Don't worry.
I like the bottom bunk here. Okay,
we're gonna sort it out. Yeah, I like that. I'm top bunk. Nolan's middle bunk, obviously, and then we've got Cole at bottom bunk. So
I think Nolan should be the bottom bunk since he took the last place trophy from me this year.
Well, that's true. That's a pretty compelling argument, actually. Nolan, your rebuttal?
I have more first place trophies right now than last place trophies.
I feel like
I appreciate the reply. Nolan is now bottom bunk. Okay, Nolan is now bottom bunk.
I feel like we are like the podcast equivalent of that Netflix quarterback documentary. We've got the champion.
Don't do it.
We've got middle of the pack. And then we've got Nolan down here might not have a job at the end of the year.
You back off right now.
You're the Marcus Mariota here.
Wait, so am I, just to be clear,
for this year,
this situation, I'm Patrick Mahomes?
This year, yes.
What a polite compliment you've given me today, Cole. I appreciate that. I hate his voice, but I like his stuff.
Like Kermit the Frog?
Yeah. No, he's like gravelly Tipton County voice.
Oh, that's the worst insult you can give somebody.
Yeah, but he sounds like he's hanging out at Walmart on Saturday night.
It could be worse. He could always be Jackson Mahomes.
Oof.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're moving on. All right, so we'll talk a little bit of personal news.
Since last time,
we're moving quick on that. Since last time you saw me, I've been in a vehicle wreck that was pretty sick. Everybody's okay, but I was that. Nolan has kind of officially moved into his own private work office.
Hooray. Finally.
And Cole has, and before I say this quote, at the Man Bunkbed Podcast, we advocate for safety in tackling, okay? So you wrap and you keep your heads up. But Cole, who is a coach for middle school football, had a kid get, and I quote, factory reset at last week's game.
That's my thing, man.
Cole, tell us about that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you see, when he got hit, he was on the ground head to the side.
Oh, my God.
He got up and he was like, I can play. And I was like,
no, sir.
All right. And he goes to get in the huddle and is like stumbling with every step. And I looked at the kid and was like, are you okay? And he's like, yup. And was still stumbling. But no, his mom gave him a Gatorade after the game, and I watched her hand it to him. She walked away 30 seconds later. He goes, where did I get this Gatorade from?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's the Tua syndrome.
He's good now. He's good. We're waiting on doctor clearance, but he can't practice yet.
So, Cole, was he hit, or did he offensively fall himself like Tua does?
He got rocked by, the entire defensive line.
Tua Tua gets bumped and like assaults himself with the way that he falls.
He just doesn't know how to fucking get tackled. It's a skill you should have learned already.
Yeah, that's why he took, what was it, judo or jiu-jitsu to learn how to fall correctly.
Yeah.
That's what he gets for being left-handed. You tell me a left-handed quarterback who doesn't have issues with concussions.
All right. Okay.
Michael Vick?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
We're onto something here.
Are we?
I think I'm onto something. Left-handed quarterbacks hit concussions more than right-handed
How many
quarterbacks.
left-handed quarterbacks do we know? Let's be honest. Tebow? But
Tebow. Okay, to be fair, he was a tank.
yeah, well.
That's the Lord's Warrior. Relax.
He was a killdozer. The Lord's Warrior.
And
Why
the
do we
Steelers killed
have?
him.
I feel like Tebow is our Where's Waldo. Once an episode, we're going to say Tim Tebow's name.
Well, he is
we
actually
did it last
brought
week
up a
too,
lot.
because he's the Lord's Warrior.
All right. Let's get into it. Let's look. We're going to be covering this all season apparently because it's already impacting how I draft in best ball, and it's definitely going to impact our 10th anniversary redraft. We got to talk about the running back situation again. I know we covered this 2 weeks ago, but it's shaping up to be like a season-long thing. We'll talk about JT first. He's kind of like the big. He's like the big thing this week. So Jonathan Taylor is officially holding out, but he's not holding out with an injury. So, and the reason he's holding out, of course, is he wants a contract, and now he's offended that the Colts, are operating with like the owner common sense that's going around this season of we're not paying running backs a whole bunch of money. They drafted a 6'4", 250-pound quarterback to run the ball. So they might not need to pay Jonathan Taylor like $10 million a year. But he's holding out. He doesn't have an injury, he says. So the problem with that is they could put him on the NFI list, which means they don't have to pay him.
Yeah.
He's just holding out for funsies.
He says he doesn't have an injury, but we watched that video of him walking around on the field, and that man sure does look stiff, though.
Hey, he's just a little bow-legged. He's fine.
Did you watch it?
No.
Did you watch that? Oh, my God. I'm going to have to send you the video. That man was, when you I don't even know how to explain it. Like the old man walk where he doesn't really bend at all and he sways, but everything's straight. It's bad.
Memory of your peepaw walking through the field.
No, well, yes, that's a good one. No, it's like you worked abs for the first time in 6 months. That's that.
Yeah,
one.
it was bad.
He's stiff right in the core, or perhaps like the Colts reported in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know that feeling. I work abs once a week, so.
Yeah, we can tell. It was the tub of ice cream that convinced us.
I earned my tub of ice cream.
I don't know. There was a report today that there were some teams actually interested. I wonder if it's him and his agent saying there are teams interested, or if it's like a legitimate.
Hey, can we bring our conversation from earlier this week into this? The best landing spots if he does get traded?
Oh my God, it'd be the Vikings, especially with Madison having an injury today at camp.
That's a fantastic
He
spot.
would be insane on the Vikings.
I love it. I loved the Bears pick.
Oh yeah, the Bears would be a good one too. I don't know. They've already got like 2 receiving backs there though.
Yeah, but he's kind of like he is like a do-it-all. He profiles as a 3-down guy.
Yeah.
I like any team that doesn't have a running quarterback for him as a landing spot. So give me the Bucks. Rashad White there.
Rashad White,
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's your rookie contract. You got him. They can afford it. They're not paying their quarterbacks much either.
People won't love this because they're high on the other guys, but the Commanders. Makes a good fit at the Commanders.
See, I think nobody's high on the Commanders running backs, and so that's what's just causing both of them to be valued a little more because nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know when
especially
one of them's going to get shot.
Especially with a quarterback, you don't know what's actually going to happen either.
Yeah. So we got JT hurt, not hurt, holding out for a contract. I don't think we're in a world where that matters for him. We had Dalvin Cook go to the Jets this week or this weekend. The Jets reported he didn't even look like he wants a contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's just hanging out, taking free visits.
Why would you want him and Breece Hall on the same team? That bothers me.
Yeah.
Well, for a fantasy football aspect, it just, the ADP for Jets running backs feels like it's going to be like at that Rachaad White level. And then you can't tell me that when they drop like that you're going to pick them over somebody who has a clear path to work.
Dalvin Cook to the Jets feels a lot like Adrian Peterson on the Saints. A horrible move because you've already got all this talent in the backfield, and you've got this guy who Dalvin Cook still needs to be fed the ball. He's still a good running back. He's got years left in him. Where he's got talent, he's going to be great. I don't want to put him in a situation where he's with a top tier, Breece Hall coming off that injury. I mean, if he's not injured last year, we're talking about Breece Hall as a first round draft pick. Yeah. If he finishes out the season, he's a first-round redraft fantasy pick this year, guaranteed. Yeah. And so I just hate the idea of him going there.
So we have running backs taking visits. Zeke's taking visits at the Patriots. Anybody that gets injured in this offseason is going to be taking visits from all these. There's 4 Pro Bowl running backs.
Mm-hmm. There's also that video of Zeke just in the Bengals facility too.
Yeah, just hanging out.
They need another running back, which kind of ties into one of my other notes that I brought for tonight. Other than the one Joe Mixon 50-point game, do you know he averaged less points than DeAndre Swift last year?
Ew.
If you take that 150-point game out, he averaged less points per game than DeAndre Swift.
No.
If you take that 150-point game out.
Yeah, because it just sways the whole stat. It's this.
He scored 50 points. Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, sure.
But you had a W that week.
He had one good week, and the rest of the year, it was just not good.
That must have been
take out T.J. Hawkinson's 2 40-plus point games. He had a horrible season.
No, that Joe Mixon game must have been the T. Higgins, I'm healthy, take one snap game. That had to be that week, right?
What week was that?
And look, and it's wild because, in this running back market where you see these guys, sitting on free agency, or you see these guys, holding out for contracts, I don't know if y'all saw the video, but they had Travis Etienne, who's a pretty high-level running back at this point, at least high profile, and they asked him about the state of the running back market, and he's, on the other side of it, where he's saying, look at the guys who are the elite runners and elite pass catchers, the guys who impact the game at a high level, not just as a running back. And he said those guys get paid. So running backs have to elevate how they value, how they impact the game if they want to get paid. So that was really interesting. That for me, that was the first kind of high profile running back that was saying hey, this is on us a little bit. They don't need us to run the ball. Lots of dudes can run the ball. But if you want to get paid, be good at a lot of stuff, and then you can get paid, right? So I don't know what that is, But I will say through this offseason, it has become very apparent to me that the rich people, the owners of the NFL, are playing chess. And the players and their agents, at least this season, are playing like Rock's version of checkers. I mean, they're playing it is can somebody tell
back
me
in my day we couldn't afford a checker
we just
set.
Oh my god,
we had light rocks and dark rocks.
Give me a running back win this offseason. I'm sure was it Saquon's
dirt.
So
it was Saquon's extra million. Was that what it was?
His extra 100,000.
Oh my god, yeah. It's the not franchise tag.
These owners are killing it this year.
I don't know. The win is going to come from Toriano Clinton this year. Did y'all hear about this today?
No.
The Colts signed a running back, Toriano Clinton, from the University of Indianapolis, who has only ever had one player ever in the NFL, and it was in the 1930s.
Wow.
Signed today. But never heard of this man before. Now, after reading some of this stuff, I'm on the hype train. Let's go. All day.
Stop, dude.
So he's the all-time leader of that school in rushing yards, total TDs, rushing average, kickoff return average, 100-yard rushing games, and 200-yard rushing games.
Dude, that is dope. Credit to you.
Sounds like who's the kid out of San Diego State a few years ago that had the same stuff.
But are we really advocating for a guy who holds the records at a school that last had a running back in the 1930s?
No. Not running back. Player. Period.
Come on, man. Come on. Hey, our high school team won some games that one year and went to a playoff.
If he ever touches the field, this invalidates all the running backs saying that they should get paid more.
This is just Kendall Hinton for the Broncos, where they were like, he was a quarterback in college, and then he doesn't complete passes, right? Like, this guy was a running back in college, and then he's going to get 0 carries.
Speaking of him, though, he may be the wide receiver 3 on that team this year after this week.
Well, Tim Patrick has ACLs made of glass.
Well, this one was an Achilles. Last year it was an ACL. This is an Achilles, and they just waived KJ Hamler. So they are down to Kendall Hinton and the 2 big boys on that team.
I really want him to succeed. I love Kendall Hinton for stepping into that role.
And just like that, those all 3 of my cards that I had notes on. Go team.
Yeah, that's a great segue. Whoever snatched, I don't even remember already who snatched that into the injuries. All right, so we're done with the running back hullabaloo. We'll keep covering it. We'll keep talking about how running backs are catching L's and the owners are catching like fat W's, at least in their bank accounts. But
let me add one thing to the Colts thing. Right. Just to argue your point, Nolan, against your random guy from Nowhere Hills, USA. This is my guarantee. All right, my fantasy guarantee, and that's why I'm saying right now, if you're doing best ball drafts, right now, and I think this week is maybe next week, you'll have time to get these guys. I can guarantee you the Colts. If it's not Jonathan Taylor, if he does not start week 1, it's going to be one of those Pro Bowl running backs that's not on a team right now.
You think so? You don't
Leonard,
think they're giving
Fournette,
it to Deion?
Zeke, one of those guys. They're not giving it to Deion Jackson.
Hey, man, look, he played last year when he was out.
No, I will fight you to the death for that, man, because I put him in the week I needed to win to go forward in fantasy. I played him over David Montgomery, and he killed me. He did not run anything. So, no, his 2 weeks where he was good are a fluke.
Zach Moss also just died, too, didn't he?
Yes. They're all receiving backs. These aren't running backs. You put Leonard Fournette on
Deion Jackson is 5'11", 216. It's not like he's small.
Yeah, but he can't run the ball either. He's not very good at it.
Hey, man, he's got a 28-point game.
Yeah, that's great.
So look, first of all, it's going to be, if he plays all year, Anthony Richardson's going to be their lead rusher.
Yes, and it's not going to be close,
Like, it'll be
even if JT plays, he might be.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if Josh Allen's the lead rusher for the Bills, Anthony Richardson's the lead rusher for the Colts. Okay? All right, so yeah, let's talk some injuries. So Joe Burrow's the first big name.
Yep.
We worried, we not worried, went down with a calf injury.
I'm not worried. He's been hurt every preseason.
Okay, Cole?
He's
worried, not worried?
No, he's got the best offensive lineman in the game now. I don't like that it was a non-contact. I mean, it looked bad. I think he'll be fine. It really did.
But he had the calf wrapped, and then Zach Taylor, the coach, came out immediately, basically said, "No, hey, it's a calf." Like the trainers were probably in the back going, "I told him, I freaking told him this would happen if he went out there today."
I want to believe it's the same as Jonathan Taylor's back injury, and he was like, "I'm tired. It's hot out here. Ow, calf. Ow, I'm out. Sorry, coach."
Yep. All right, Garrett Wilson, low ankle sprain. We worried? We not worried?
I'm not worried.
That worries me.
Low ankle sprain feels like one of those nagging receiver injuries.
You've
right?
still got
exactly.
What is it? 5 weeks till regular season starts.
I'll give you that, but
sprain.
It's taken Michael Thomas 5 years.
Hey, I don't think that was it for him, but whatever. A sprain is 4 to 6 weeks recovery. It's 5 weeks till regular season. I'm not super concerned.
All right, we'll come back to it. Broncos receivers, Tim Patrick ACL tear. Then they release KJ Hamler. So what are we doing with Broncos receivers? Like, are we
Jerry
like
Jeudy
running?
Season.
Yeah, we're like Jerry Judy's ADP is going to be like in the top 3 rounds at this point.
No,
it's not already, top 2.
The way it's shooting, I'd probably take him mid-late second.
I'm gonna go a different way. Y'all can zig all you want. I'm zagging Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going that way all day.
Well, and I'll say at ADP value,
Yeah,
he
it's
might
a
be better
fantastic
draft.
value with everybody else dropping like flies. He's
their,
somebody I'm starting to look at, and I hate him. Like, he has burned me in fantasy before. He's the reason I finished last and have this trophy, or had the trophy that Nolan now has. So yeah, he's somebody that I absolutely am starting to take a look at his value.
Well, and look,
ADP of 108, man, that's late too.
Yeah. I mean, you can get Cortland in the hundreds, right? Like, he's double the ADP at least of Jerry Jeudy.
This is that same fight that Nolan and I had last year of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, where the value.
Last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The value of Cortland Sutton sitting there, same offense, all these other receivers are dropping. Judy's the one all the defenses are looking at.
Jerry Judy's going in the 5th also. On Sleeper ADP is 55.
I mean, that's honestly not a bad value.
It's a great place if you can get him there, man. I just feel like he's going to start going up more.
Let me give you another option on that one. Dulcich, right? Like, Sean Payton and his tight ends.
He's had one. Jimmy Graham was good 1 year under Sean Payton. Like, has he actually?
Don't let me get started. But look, Dulcich's ADP, you could get this dude at 128, and in tight end language, that means you're probably getting them like 130s, 140s. Like maybe that's the look, right? Like, I think maybe
I'm never banking on a tight end. I'm sorry if it's
Judy
not named Travis Kelce.
He might be expensive considering the other Broncos options there.
I mean, if I'm trying to trade, like dynasty looking to trade for a receiver from them right now. I mean, you could get Cortland Sutton for. Did you give him up for a third? I'd give up a third for him.
It's probably worth a shot. Yeah. Not
That's
a second, but a third, yeah. Especially with how this year's shaping up. Yeah, I could probably see that. All right, let's get into running back injuries so far. So we got Alexander Mattison limping off the field. He stayed and watched practice, but then and then left and hasn't practiced since. What do we feel about that one?
I love how they left in that he stayed and watched practice.
Right, like
he's good, y'all. He watched practice.
All right.
Well, he wasn't back in the trainers, or they didn't have to cart him off. So I mean, if anything, it kind of insinuates it's minor, but there's no telling. There's no information on it.
Yeah. So I mean, look. We don't know much about Madison anyways. Like, the hype is at an all-time high before this injury, and like the dude's never averaged 5 yards a carry. I mean, he actually doesn't have a very high per carry average as a career. So like, this is like your Madden. Your second string running back always feels better than your first string, even if that's not necessarily true. So we'll see on that. Probably the next group that I would say to look out for on this one is like both Seahawks running backs are hurt right now. Like, Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet are both hurt. Are we like running out and grabbing DJ Dallas, or are we just maybe like letting other people take Seahawks running back risks? Cole?
Did you just say, are we running out and grabbing DJ Dallas?
Yeah.
You said that with the straight face.
I was so close to trading for him earlier in the summer. Oh, kind of regret it a little that I didn't.
You said we're running out and grabbing DJ Dallas. No, we're not. If both of them are down, we're going somewhere else. We're going to get Fournette or Zeke or somebody else for the same price.
So are we saying that the Seahawks are cursed if Rashad Penny doesn't get hurt this year? Is it a Seahawks curse at this point?
Yeah, it has to be.
Oh, yeah.
It's Marshawn Lynch or nothing, right? Like either he's like tearing people up all year, or they get 6 games.
Beast mode never left.
So let me ask you this: with him hurt again and Charbonnet hurt, like, do you trade him away, Kenneth Walker? Do you trade him away, or do you trade for him and try to get him cheap? Like, what's the play there?
I say trade for him. At this moment, he's not somebody I'm trading away while he's injured. Like, his value's so low right now because everybody's questioning. Okay,
Dynasty, Dynasty, you probably take a shot. Redraft.
I wouldn't touch either of them, because he was already going where in. Hold on, let me fucking pull it up.
Well, he's not a trade away. I'll say that he's not a trade away, and that's even with redraft. It's a value thing. You don't want to sell low. Like, you're selling that stock really low right now with Charbonnet in there. and him injured, you're not going to get very much for him. But he's definitely somebody I'd look to trade for. I mean, the news comes out that he's injured. He's got Charbonnet there. Yeah, absolutely. You can get him.
Kenneth Walker's ADP is 36. I feel like that's so high for a sharing the backfield guy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like,
not even talking about the injury.
He's sharing the backfield yet?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on.
They drafted DeMarco Murray's clone.
Right.
Like he's dude.
I will say at 36, I'm not touching him.
We need to superimpose them
like
together.
Maybe shoot a flyer on him later, but like I'm not taking him in the third. There's just too many people around there you want to actually get to add value.
I think that's going to drop too.
It's
over the next few weeks with the injury news. Now, if that ADP drops to the 4th, yes,
maybe.
You start going like, let me stash him. Maybe.
I mean, because he's sitting right there next to Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon. So
Aaron Jones all day.
So you're looking early 4th. Yeah, absolutely. If you're going like receivers heavy early on, then you're looking 3rd and 4th. You're starting to pick up your running back. So yeah, give me Kenneth Walker all day in that situation.
As long as you get Charbonnet.
Did they report what was actually wrong with him? I don't remember seeing it.
Let me see. I was looking at it.
It is a groin week to week. I saw it.
See, yeah, that's one of those ones.
Groin is an injury that'll fucking stick with you too, man. They always come back.
Yeah, it's they're missing a lot.
Fuck you, Cole.
All right.
The groin always comes back.
The groin. Watch the groin injury out there. All right, Zach Moss broke his arm. So Jonathan Taylor's out with a non-injury / holdout. Zach Moss breaks his arm. We kind of covered this earlier, but we're fading this backfield. Anthony Richardson maybe ADP up a little bit, but the backfield
they've got to sign somebody. There's too many people out there that need jobs that they could sign.
Somebody, I feel like we saw that somewhere today. Who do we know? Was it Middlebunk that said that? Middlebunk said that, I think.
Middlebunk. I think it's gonna be Fournette.
Yeah.
I think Fournette's called before the season's over.
I would probably get Hunt before Fournette, but
really,
yeah,
I'm telling you, I think for me,
style of back is closer to JT.
It's so long since Hunt was relevant, though.
No, I think. No, I'm telling you, rookie quarterback. I think you take Zeke. I think you take the best pass blocking guy, who can still run the ball. I mean, when they have to worry about the quarterback running, it makes the running back's job easier. I think you take the guy who can protect your rookie.
Dak Prescott's ankle disagrees.
That's not Zeke's fault. I don't think. Was that Zeke's fault? Was that?
It was on a rollout.
Yeah. No, then that's Dak's fault, dude. That has nothing to do with Zeke. Zeke's over there yelling, "Get down!"
I'm just saying, on all my sprint out pass plays that I call in middle school, the blocker on the end's the running back. I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah, the middle school where the kid got factory resetted. I don't know if y'all are training him right there.
Hey, that was coming from the nose tackle. That's different. That was not his responsibility.
What's a nose tackle in middle school? 180 pounds?
I promise you that kid was 260 pounds.
Jesus.
And he was the 7th grader.
Is this what movie was that? The Bitch Warmers, where the kid hands the note, the guy, the 30-year-old hands the note and says, "I am 13." It's got a $20 bill. He wrote it in crayon. That's
it. Looked like Aaron Donald lining up against the Little Giants.
Hey, bro, you didn't have no Aaron Donald in West Tennessee football. Okay, relax.
I need you to come to some games, but
yeah, I got you. Put me on.
I'll be in your town. I think August 12th.
Your town. You're from here. It's our town.
It's not my football team, though.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He forsook us already.
I did.
All right, last one for me. We got Roshan missing practice. Roshan for the Bears. We following this. We not care.
I'm gonna be honest. Did not even see that update.
That doesn't bother me.
See. We find it again.
He's not an early season start anyway.
It is
unless we're looking at
injury. They're not even saying what it is.
How do we feel about undisclosed injury?
Undisclosed.
I'm still not worried. He is not somebody that. You really think Roshan's going to be scoring you points and winning you games early on in the season? If he's out 6 weeks, fine.
Because he's probably still running back 3, maybe 4 on that team. Anyways, they've got Khalil Herbert and Dante Foreman.
He is 3. guaranteed he's the third
we don't
one
know.
there.
Are you sleeping on Travis Homer right now?
They have Khalil Herbert.
3.5.
About the guy.
Oh.
Shout out to the people who drafted Roshan in the first round.
Yo, that was so early. I can't imagine doing that. Was it like number 7?
It was 7.
Oh god, that's insane.
Tyler went up in every rookie draft I was in with Tyler. He ran for Roshan.
I don't get it, man.
Not at the 7.
He's
He's
got his guys, man. That's crazy. I got Kendra at 9. I'd rather have Kendra than Roshan any day.
Yep.
Well, Cole's not biased at all, but I don't know. Right now, they probably profiles like similar stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do training camp headlines. So we're gonna talk a little bit training camp stuff. We're not really, we're just gonna tell you about things we're looking for, how we're evaluating for fantasy for our upcoming drafts. So, what you guys got?
I mean, I've already seen Deontay Johnson shooting up some ADP boards. I did 2 underdog drafts today, and just after that catch, people were picking him so far over where his ADP was sitting at just from one catch.
I know, but by the time season gets here, he's not like he won't be in sleeper territory anymore.
Right.
He's going to be probably where his ADP like maxes out. Unfortunately, if we had our redraft like 2 weeks ago, dude, you could get Deontay in like the 5th.
Yep.
Like he profiles as a wide receiver 1. Okay, yeah. For me, so what I'm looking at, I am now that Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, I am intrigued by the Raiders camp. Like that's an offense that before last week when they announced that Jimmy G was playing that I was fading, like as a whole offense. Devontae Adams, whoever's playing tight end for them, Josh Jacobs, and then maybe even like our boy Hunter Renfrow. At the 3-Man Bunkbed Podcast, we plug Hunter Renfrow's name everywhere. Okay, I was fading the whole offense, and now that Jimmy G's there, like I find myself like looking for reports, like seeing what's going on with that one. I want to see like if they're going to be relevant at all. Josh McDaniels is known for kind of quick strike passes and moving up the field, and that's Jimmy G came from New England, came from the Josh McDaniels offense, and he's when he's on the field, like this is a winning quarterback, and so I don't know, like if he comes through camp healthy and we're seeing good updates and we're not hearing that like that coach hot gossip quotes where he's not really giving us substance, or maybe like he's hinting at like we got to be better at things, or stuff like that. Like I might look at Devontae Adams, I might look at Hunter Renfrow, or if Jacobs comes back, I might look at Jacobs again. But before this week and before I see more training camp headlights, I'm literally fading like the entire offense for the Raiders. So that's what I'm checking out as training camp really kicks into gear. Is what's going on in Las Vegas.
Before I'm going to answer that, but I have to correct myself so I don't look like a fool. It was George Pickens. I don't know why I said Deontay Johnson.
I left it alone, bro.
You knew what I meant, though. You knew what I meant.
I just kept.
I just have to
go forward.
Anyways, has Jimmy G ever had a wide receiver 1 and been able to carry one?
Just
as
Debo.
No, yeah, just Debo. Debo's like he's really like a running back receiver, right? Like he's Debo. By the way, Debo might be what was his name, Cole? What Dexter McCluster was supposed to be. He is a weapon in the NFL. What about that name drop? Dexter McCluster. So like when he came into the NFL, they were like, oh my gosh, what a weapon. Well, that's kind of what Debo is if he's healthy. But no, they've not. Jimmy G has not had that guy. And with Devontae Adams, even at age 30, like best receiver he's had, bar none. Not even close. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm interested.
I think you ready for this? I think Devontae Adams is traded before the season's over.
If they start if they start losing games, I can
see
that.
He's the first one to go.
Like, let's get rid of this quarterback contract at wide receiver. And, Josh McDaniels is going to be going, like, let me defer blame, right? Like, it's not my fault. Let's get rid of this giant roster salary cap.
Does trading for him end up being one of the biggest fuck-ups of recent NFL?
Yeah, but if it does, it's not his fault. Like, it won't be a quality of play kind of thing. It will be a front office change thing where
they didn't give up a ton to get him.
No, but they signed him to a quarterback contract.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, it's not as bad as it's not nearly as bad as the Trey Lance deal.
No doubt.
They gave up a first and second round pick, by the way.
If they trade him after signing him and paying him all that money, and they gave up a first and a second, that probably goes down pretty bad.
I'll give you that.
But again, it won't be Devontae's fault. Like, this is going to be a front office that traded for him that doesn't exist anymore. It's a completely new front office, right? Like, and so Josh McDaniels did inherit this. But you can't tell me it's Devontae Adams' fault if they lose. It's not.
If I have to hear Josh McDaniels did inherit this one more time and one more job with Josh McDaniels, I'm so sick of his excuses. Belichick made him. Brady made him. He's not a great coach. Stop with the Josh McDaniels hype. He was never great. Tom Brady was.
Why did he get more chances than Hackett? It's the same thing.
Hackett was horrible. That's why I'm on the Sean Payton train. Hackett was so bad. Oh my God!
No. Let's wait. Let's do this the right way. Speaking of training camp headlines, what do we think about Sean Payton's comments on Nathaniel Hackett's coaching tenure for the Broncos?
I think you forgot he's a coach and not a commentator.
Dude, that was like, I want to say slander, but it's not.
Look,
it's not incorrect. It's just mean. Like, that's wild to see another coach talk about another coach like that, right? Like,
but he's right.
Yeah, he is right.
Just because you're right doesn't mean you should say it out loud.
Yeah, right. Like, like you don't walk up to everybody you hate and go, "I hate you." You just kind of tolerate some of those people, right?
You can look at one thing that Hackett consistently did that messed up his entire chance at being decent, and it would have fixed everything. Do you notice they pulled the snap count? Watch one game from last year. They did not snap the ball with any more time than 5 seconds left on the clock. If you're a defensive lineman, you can jump the snap all day long. Quarterback doesn't have time to snap to do anything. That he was doomed from there. Plus, you're not getting much time on offense. There's no rhythm. It was crushing the way he handled the clock. You watch the first game from last season, you'll see that.
Well, and it really became clear to me that, like, he came from a team and an offense where, like, he had zero responsibilities, like call plays, create our offense. That's all you do. But you don't actually, like, you're not necessarily like a leadership figure. It's your job. And then he gets a head coaching job and, like, flames and burns out because he all of a sudden it's all up to him, right? Like, everything goes by him. And so, yeah, getting back to that, like, Sean Payton flamed this guy, and Aaron Rodgers did not like it. Robert Saleh did not like it. And it's one of those – it's unfortunate because I want to be like, Sean Payton, stay true. You said the truth. But, like, he's already pulled it back and apologized.
Saleh is not the person I want to start mess with either. Like, that's scary, man.
What'd you say?
He's so big.
He's a defensive coordinator. Come on, Mike. He's out here putting pain on people.
But I love this. Tell me this isn't good for the NFL, though.
We need more people that hate each other.
That Week 5 game is circled.
Oh, dude, if it's not already flexed to prime time, it will be. Like,
and you're telling me before these comments were made, you were sitting here waiting for Week 5 to see the Jets and the Broncos go head-to-head?
I'll tell you what,
no one cared. Like, I love this. I want more of this in the NFL so we can care about these crummy little games they keep playing on Thursday night.
That was probably like the definition of what I want for color commentary, right? Like, that's like give me quotable stuff instead of he's the most intelligent player. Who cares? Like, tell me how you really feel, and then we'll work on that, right? So
it's like Peyton looked at the calendar, like, what's the game no one cares about? That one, talking trash about the Jets right now.
Yeah. They just, bless his heart, man.
And Aaron Rodgers hops in and is like, "That's my coach. Leave him alone."
Right. And how long was he even with Nathaniel Hackett? Like 2 years at Green Bay? Like
MVP.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much of that is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and how much of that is Nathaniel Hackett?
Well, how much of that shows the massive difference between Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson?
Yeah, well, that's true. Well,
I think before Hackett went to the Broncos, we thought they were closer. And after Hackett, there is a mass, like it's shown the difference between the two. And honestly, I hate to say this because I can't stand the guy. I've got a lot more respect for the talent of Aaron Rodgers after seeing what happened with Hackett and the Broncos.
I will agree with you if at the end of this season with Sean Payton at the helm, Russell still sucks. If he doesn't suck, then it like 95% will go on Nathaniel Hackett, right? Like before this year, even with the Seahawks losing seasons, nobody, or not before this year, before last year, nobody would have been like Russell Wilson's trash. Nobody.
No.
When he got traded, we were like, whoa, dude, the Broncos might be contenders. And then, that happened last year. Now, if he sucks, then there's, he hit that quarterback cliff in the 30s and is falling all the way down. But, I just have to assume that Sean Payton's going to put something different in the field.
I just really want more of that in the NFL. Like, give me chirping. Let me see these players. Because that's the thing that you used to have in the NFL is these guys like Terrell Owens who, like, they made a name for themselves on talking trash, on doing stupid stuff. You remember the workout he did in his front yard when he's trying to find a team? He's old as can be, but he looks great. Like, I love that type of stuff, and I feel like the NFL has worked so hard to make you forget about rivalries and these players fighting against each other, coaches not liking each other. And I miss that. I feel like the NFL really needs it, because that's something that's great about college football. Like, that these teams hate each other. And so you tune into that game. They might not have any star players, but if there is pure hatred between these two teams, you tune in to watch. And that's something the NFL is missing, and I would love to see it back. I want to see character and personality. I love this quarterbacks documentary on Netflix. Seeing Patrick Mahomes get ready to fight Max Crosby in his face was awesome.
It's amazing. Except for him whining about the punch. He didn't get punched. He got palmed a little, he
got pushed a little bit.
But when he's in Max Crosby's face just going off after a touchdown pass, dude, that is the NFL I want to see. I love that stuff. So bring it back.
We got to get some more people that aren't scared to be a villain.
You know who ruined this for us? I'll give it a name. This is the Andrew Luck effect, where he gets sacked and says, like, thanks, great job, good hit. No, I want Phillip Rivers going like, you suck, I just threw a 90-yard touchdown. Like that's what I want. I want the trash talk. I agree with that.
I thought you were gonna say Josh Norman ruined this.
Nah, Josh
him
Norman,
and OBJ fighting.
No, they're dumb. No, because before Josh Norman and OBJ, it was Cortland Finnegan. And
fucking
Andre
Cortland
Johnson.
Finnegan.
Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree.
Yeah.
You put a sorry receiver like Crabtree on me, that's what you're going to get.
Or like Aqib Talib giving the Captain Insano fingers in the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
That's what I want. I want
I
drama.
almost just spit tea everywhere.
I want drama in the NFL. Yeah, so back to training camp. Look, for me, the last thing that I'm looking at when I'm fleecing through the massive amount of information is, like, you have to remember, most of this stuff is garbage. Like, most of this stuff is like
matters.
Baseless, hot gossip. And so when you're looking at that, pay attention to the types of quotes that coaches are giving. And so, like, we saw one, we were talking about this on the podcast right before we hit the record button. And you're going to see this out. Quotes like he's the most intelligent player I've played with or I've coached. Like, that is not important. You're looking for stuff like, we've got a lot of good running backs. We have a lot of people taking great reps, right? Because that indicates potential committees, right? Like, if you've got a running back you're interested on that team and that coach is going, we got tons of guys taking good reps. Like, pay attention to that. They're going to have these quotes where, it's a competition or stuff like that, where you got to pay attention because most of what you hear is total garbage. And then they're going to drop things that might indicate what they're actually going to do. We won't know until they get on the field, but you got to watch out because a lot of what you're going to hear about training camp is useless. So be able to sift through that and get to, I don't know, the nuggets, the gold in that, so that you can actually use it. Because don't be the guy who reads a quote and then drafts that dude and then he doesn't play, right? Like Jerome Ford is going to be the backup to Nick Chubb. Go get him. And the guy had 0 carries last year. Okay, like pay attention to what you're doing. and go get that. Cole, what's your training camp stuff?
The Commanders receiving. See, I always like looking at receivers for the receiving core for a team and finding guys that I think could possibly have similar seasons, but one of them's ADP is way lower than the other one. And I see that with the Commanders this year. You see Terry McLaurin going off the board. His ADP is 46, 48 range. And then you have Jahan Dotson, who who his ADP is late 80s, mid-late 80s. That is somebody who I can see having a similar season to where McLaurin is finishing. And so I always look for those type of partnerships that are in one team. Last year it was Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. You could get Mike Williams way later on in your draft, and the man put up a good year. He put up some pretty solid numbers on par with Keenan Allen. And so that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. So I like the stories that I'm seeing out of the Commanders camp. Howell looks fantastic. I'm loving these quarterbacks from last year: Brock Purdy, Sam Howell. These are guys who do have talent, and they're getting a chance to shine. So I like Howell's looking fantastic. They're talking about his arm. The clips they're putting out of him just dropping bombs are amazing. But you also get Scary Terry. I got a question mark after that one because you don't hear much. He had a great grab today, but I just feel like he's somebody who has fallen off the face of the planet from his rookie season when he was fantastic. He's a quiet guy who he puts up 900, 1,000 yards and does his job. But Dotson was such a touchdown machine when he was on the field. And so that's somebody I'm looking at. This guy's getting red zone targets. He looks amazing when he's on the field. He had some health issues. It's not a consistent health issue thing for him. Wasn't injured at Penn State very much. He's one that I can see sneaking up and being just as valuable as Terry McLaurin, but at a much lower draft position. I'm not necessarily sold that I'm going to go for Terry at 46. That he's somebody I'm looking for that high in my drafts. But when I'm getting into the 8th round and I'm looking at a receiver position, somebody who might be sneaky, Jahan Dotson's my guy. And so he's that's what I'm looking at in training camp is the second receiver on a team who could put up the same numbers as the starter on the team.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And look, we were talking about this right before the show. We'll talk about it here too. Like you're right. Scary Terry might be I wanna be a Terry McLaurin fan. I've got him in a couple of leagues. I've got him in the Dynasty League where I just won the championship. But it might be like a glass cannon because you're not hearing much about him. There's a new quarterback coming in, Jahan Dotson's year 2, and then we were just talking about this. Curtis Samuel is still in that offense, and he finished wide receiver 34 in PPR last year. So a top 35 guy for wide receivers, and that's that's money. He's getting drafted in the hundreds spot in ADP, and you can get him literally 10 rounds after Terry McLaurin.
I think a lot of his success came with the injuries to other guys on that team. Dotson was not on the field. When Dotson was on the field, Samuel was not successful. He was not having great weeks. He wasn't putting up a ton of points. He had one game, I believe, where he put a touchdown in and had about 60 yards. But his success was a whole lot more on the targets that he was getting. He was that underneath guy who was in the slot. He was kind of always open. You got a quarterback who's rolling around a lot and dishing it off, those short little passes. That's where Samuel was thriving. What
was his? So just to button that, are you telling me that his points maybe came on like a points per reception kind of situation?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool. So just make sure that we were making that.
Yeah, he's a target hawk. I mean, he's somebody who that's what he lives off of. He's not a red zone target. He's not getting touchdowns.
Nice, 5'11". Yeah.
But you give Dotson a healthy season last year, a fully healthy season. I don't think you're talking. You're not talking. I can tell you're not talking about Curtis Samuel being that successful.
I think when I look at it, his ADP right now, Like I said, it's in the it's not in the hundreds. I think it's in the 200s. Let me pull it up really quickly before I finish what I was going to say.
I drafted him last year, so I feel you.
While you're looking it up, I've been looking at the numbers on all of them. Curtis Samuel's yards per catch is so much lower than Dotson and McLaurin's. It's crazy. It's
he was a short little dump off guy.
Yeah, he just called a lot of low ones. Dotson playing a lot less. He only had 35 receptions compared to Scary Terry's 77. He had 2 more touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he had 7 touchdowns on 35 receptions, which is crazy.
He was a touchdown monster early in the season.
So let me take the name off of it. So we're not drafting Curtis Samuel, but are you telling me you would not be interested in a guy at 209, at ADP 209, who had 9 double-digit games last year?
Yeah. I mean,
come on, doesn't that feel like when you start looking for those sleepers, right? Those guys to fill out your roster and plug in. He had 9 double-digit games last year. You can't tell me that's not consistency. 9 weeks of double-digit games, and we've got a new quarterback essentially. I mean, he played some at the end there, but you've got a guy who did miss games last year above him, and then you got Terry McLaurin, who again
play this game with me. Do you have his stats for every game pulled up?
Yep,
I've got his sleeper stuff pulled up.
Okay. What are his weeks where he is getting these double-digit points?
Oh, yeah. No, I was looking at that. So let me pull it up the other way. I had it. Samuel.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9.
There 13,
it is. 13, 16.
5, 7, 8, 9.
Jahan played in the front.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. All of them 8 the first 3 weeks, though. If you look at them,
they're playing from behind.
The Carson Wentz show, fellas. The Carson Wentz show.
Oh my God.
You stop that.
Hey, by the way, this is a bad look for my Curtis Samuel argument. The latest news for Curtis Samuel is 7 months ago, but it says Curtis Samuel finished the season with a whimper. That's a brutal one, sleeper. I don't have to come after him like that. He didn't do anything to you.
That's a personal attack.
It was a 1 catch for -2 yards.
That was a Sean Payton attack. Was what that was. Okay. With a whimper. All right. So monitor your running back situations. There's only a couple of guys that I would take really early, like 2 or 3 that I would take early. If you're going to do a hero running back strategy, this is the year, people. This absolutely is the year. Pay attention to your injuries in the preseason and training camp. Some of it's going to be completely unimportant. Some of it's going to be time and load management. Some of it's going to be missing several weeks or missing the season. Don't draft a guy because you were not paying attention that tears his ACL. Okay, pay attention, and then get your training camp stuff. Do your mock drafts. If you're unsure about somebody, that's who you need to watch in the training camp. That's who you need to watch in preseason.
Hey, y'all forgot somebody in the Broncos receiving room. Marvin Mims.
Hey, rookie Marvin Mims. Yeah.
There's your number 3. His stock's up since the draft.
I tell you what, I know who their number 3 receiver is going to be. Let me pull it up. Yeah. No. Samaje Perine. 38 receptions last year. Yeah. 51 targets.
You know I love him.
Samaje Perine. That will be their 3rd receiver. Put it on the books. Put it on the board.
Well, if they're still snapping the ball with less than 5 seconds on the play clock, yeah, he will be.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, look, we appreciate you. We'll see you again next week. We're going to be posting this on Wednesdays. Again, you can see us on Twitter. You can see us on YouTube. You can see us or hear us on Spotify. And then please come find us on the Fantasy Football Advice Forum. Interact with us. We will respond. We'll hang out with you. So thanks for listening to the 3 Man Bunkbed Podcast. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.